Yep, I'm ready. We're not even going to hear early. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our monthly meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals for Cobb County. Before we go any further, I'd like to ask everybody who can to stand and pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have a full board today, but one of our commissioners, Alice Summer, is sitting down in the front here, but I've never been told too often I'm quiet. Anyway, Alice is with us, but she, because of some injuries, is needing to sit down front here, and we will be calling her vote as we move through the meeting. I just wanted you to know she was here, so we'll go from there. Also, the usual, quiet your cell phones. I'm usually the one that doesn't. I will now call the meeting to order. For those of you who do not have a copy of the agenda or who are attending for the first time, we will concern, am I loud enough? Just being sure everybody can hear me.
That's better.
Okay, here we go. For those who do not have a copy of the agenda and who are attending for the first time, we'll concern ourselves first with the cases that are on consent. These cases that have been reviewed by the board and by the professionals from the various departments in the county, and to which there is no known opposition at this time. We have discussed these in our work session. Certain staff comments and stipulations have been made, and we do not anticipate any further discussion is needed for a decision. So as we go forward, our County Zoning Division Manager, Mr. Peterson, will read each case into the record. Mr. Peterson will ask that you raise your hand as your case is called to signify you are present. If you are here in opposition to a case that is currently on consent, Mr. Peterson will ask you to identify yourself as that case is read into the record. We will then pull that case off of consent and hear it as part of our regular case agenda. We will then vote on all of the cases still on consent at one time. Once we've approved the cases on consent, we will move on to our regular case agenda. Mr. Peterson, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Okay, before I begin the consent agenda, there are 3 announcements I need to make. Variance case V96 of 2025, Chad J. McMillan. This case has been withdrawn without prejudice, will not be heard today. Variance case V75 of 2025, Martin G. Nagundu. This case was continued until the September 10th, 2025 Board of Zoning Appeals hearing. So V75 of 2025 will not be heard today. Finally, variance case V90 of 2025, Chris and Ellen Foster. This case was continued by the staff until the September 10th, 2025 Board of Zoning Appeals hearing. So V90 of 2025 will not be heard today. And with that, Madam Chair and Board, I'm ready to start the consent agenda. Cobb County Board of Zoning Appeals, variance hearing consent agenda for August 13th, 2025. Variance case of V89, Christopher Gerks requests a variance to reduce the side setback from required 10 feet to 4 feet adjacent to the western property line in land lot 1058 of the 16th District. The property is located on the north side of Hunton Court, east of Holt Road. Staff recommends approval. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V89? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V91, Chimney Lakes HOA requests a variance to number 1, increase the maximum allowable impervious coverage from 35% to 49%. Number 2, reduce setbacks for an accessory structure, which is an existing 12,886 square foot tennis court, A, from required 20 feet to 8 feet adjacent to the northern property line. Number 3, reduce the setbacks for an accessory structure, which is an existing 12,828 square foot tennis court, B, from required 50 feet to 19 feet adjacent to the southern property line. And number 4, reduce setbacks for an accessory structure, an existing 528 square foot covered pavilion and shed from required 50 feet to 23 feet adjacent to the southern property line in land lot 467 of the 16th district. The property is located on the southwestern corner of Chilling Lakes Court and Johnson Ferry Road. Staff recommends approval, subject to number 1, stormwater management comments, and number 2, sewer comments. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V91? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V92, Eddie Walter Usury requests a variance to reduce the major side setback from required 26.25 feet per the administrative variance to 16 feet in land lot 367 of the 16th district. The property is located on the southeastern corner of Estates Landing Drive and Bells Ferry Road. Staff recommends approval. Is the applicant present? The applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V92? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V93, Timothy Grant requests a variance to number 1, reduce the setbacks for an accessory structure, which is a proposed 1,680 square foot garage, required 100 feet to 33 feet adjacent to the eastern property line and 65 feet adjacent to the southern property line. Number 2, reduce the setback for an accessory structure, which is an existing 1,253 square foot garage, required 100 feet to 99 feet adjacent to the southern property line in land lots 15 and 16 of the 19th district. The property is located on the west side of Mays Road, south of Dallas Highway. Staff recommends approval, subject to stormwater management comments. Is the applicant present? The applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V93? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V95, Alan Gutierrez requests a variance to increase the maximum height of a fence located behind the principal building from required 8 feet to 12 feet in land lot 743 of the 17th district. The property is located on the west side of Paces Park Circle, east of Atlanta Road. Staff recommends approval. Is the applicant present? Applicant is present. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V95? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V98, Paces Park Homeowners Association Incorporated requests a variance to increase the maximum height of a fence located behind the principal building from required 8 feet to 12 feet in land lot 743 of the 17th district. The property is located on the west side of Paces Park Circle, east of Atlanta Road. Staff recommends approval. Is the applicant present? The applicant is present. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V98? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Variance case V100, Dwayne Dennis Jr. requests a variance to reduce the setbacks for an accessory structure, which is a proposed 320 square foot shed required 30 feet to 19 feet adjacent to the eastern property line in land lot 209 of the 16th district. The property is located on the northeast corner of Farmbrook Trail and New Pond Trail. Staff recommends approval. Is the applicant present? The applicant is present. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V100? Let the record show there's no one opposed. And that completes the consent agenda, Madam Chair and Board.
Do you have? Thank you, Mr. Peterson. Does anyone up here have any questions? Good. Are we ready to make a motion?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
A second.
Thank you. Place your votes. Ms. Summehour has voted yes as well, so it passes 5-0. Okay.
Okay, all those folks that were approved on consent agenda, you're free to leave. Just leave quietly because we're going to continue on the hearing. Okay. All right, moving into the held and continued case part of the agenda. First case we're going to hear today is variance case V65.
Excuse me, Mr. Peterson, don't we need to tell them the protocols?
Yes. I apologize.
That's okay. Hey, I caught it this time. All right. we're ready to proceed with regular case agendas. And to know our procedure is this. Mr. Peterson will read the case into the record. The applicant and/or representative of the applicant who wishes to speak will be asked to come to the podium. And likewise, anyone wishing to speak in opposition will be asked to come to the podium and speak as well. The limitations are the applicant and the opposition will each have 10 minutes to present their case. All testimony will be from the podium, where we do have full AV capability, so if you have images to bring, please do. Testimony will be followed by question and answers from the board after we have closed the public meeting, part of the meeting. A reminder is once comments from all parties to the case have concluded and the public hearing has been closed, there can be no further comment from the parties involved unless requested by a member of the board, at which point you'll be asked to return to the podium. So now, Mr. Peterson.
All right. First case we're going to hear today is variance case V65, William A. Lane. Request a variance to reduce the setbacks for an accessory structure, which is a proposed approximately 578 square foot shed, required 35 feet to 14 feet, adjacent to the western property line, and 2 feet adjacent to the northern property line in land lot 94 of the 19th district. The property is located on the northwest corner of Friendship Ridge Lane and Friendship Ridge Court. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V65? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in?
Good afternoon. If you'll state your name and then present your information. Thank you.
My name is William Lane.
Go right ahead about your case.
So we were asked, based on, I have the minutes from the previous meeting where we were continued, and we were asked to provide some kind of a punch list from, if we could get the city inspectors out. I tried that on multiple occasions, and since we didn't have a permit, they wouldn't allow us to do, city inspectors would not allow to come out. So I finally got hold of someone in the building divisions, and they referred me to someone that the county respects and recommends. This person came out and did this inspections punch list. This was, he called it preliminary, because in order to be better, he'll want to come out again and remove some receptacles, potentially remove some sheetrock and some other issues. So I have his notes. I think they were forwarded. I think his inspection was forwarded to the office, but I can't be certain of that because, so would you want to see the punch list, or I'm not sure what you would like at this point?
Yeah, that would be fine. If you have a hard copy or digital, he can help you.
That's Palmer Construction and Contractors, who's recommended by Mr. Goppel's office.
That's a fairly extensive list. Fred, you still reading? No, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have called you. Is there anything else you have on this? I'm sorry.
I mean, not really. I feel like I was asked to try to provide you a punch list, and then you'll make determinations based on that. So that's really all I know to do. Thank you.
Okay. Fred, do you have any, we closed the public hearing, but do you have any questions? Do you want him to stay there instead of playing?
No. No?
You're fine. Okay. You can take your seat. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your help.
Mr. Peterson, you and I discussed before today's hearing what conditions the county would be comfortable with. And what I wrote down was must permit the accessory building within 30 days for potential future use as a storage building. Must remove plumbing. Cannot use the accessory building for residential purposes. And then were there any, and as I open this up to you for other comments or limitations, were there any other concerns expressed by staff as a result of the construction of this building?
Yeah, and Commissioner Bloin, the staff would recommend that, if you did want to consider approval of this accessory building, that you would put a condition on it that would state that there's no residential dwelling use of the accessory building, that the applicant apply for and receive a building permit for the building. Applicant also apply to get a certificate of completion or occupancy for the building, and that there be no plumbing in the building and the water service be removed from the building.
Okay. There were no stormwater concerns or anything expressed as a result?
Let me check that real quick. The stormwater comments, I think, can be not included in motion, and there's no other comments I see here that need to be included, Commissioner Bloin.
Okay, thank you. Do any of my fellow board members have any questions before I make a motion? Okay.
I have one question. Since you're having everything removed, but the electrical I don't think was permitted. So does that need to be a stipulation that if the electrical remain, that it has to be permitted?
Well, and that would be part of the building permit for this.
It'll be part of the building permit?
Yes.
So okay. Thank you.
Anything, Deidre?
All right, so my motion is to recommend approval of this building for use only as a storage building. As such, the applicant must apply for a permit with Cobb County building inspections within 30 days for use of this building as a storage building, and must pursue the completion of the building for that purpose. He must remove all plumbing from the structure. The stipulation is it can only be used for storage purposes and cannot be used for residential purposes, the accessory building, that is. So subject to those conditions and requirements, the motion is for approval.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Please place your votes. Ms. Summer says votes yes as well. Thank you. What?
Okay. And Robin, did we get everything, Robin, in that last motion?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. All right. Next case is variance case V85. Hans Michael request a variance to, number one, reduce the front setbacks from required 45 feet to 20 feet, and number two, increase the maximum height of retaining wall from required 6 feet to 50 feet in land lot 338 of the 20th district. The property is located on the east side of Pindos Place, west of Pindos Pass. Is the applicant present? The applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V85? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Would the applicant please come forward and be sworn in?
So we said John and I we held for William to
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Pablo Garcia. I'm the representative for this case, V85, and the homeowner, Hans Mitchell, is.
If you will lift your mic a little bit so that we can hear you clearer and louder, please.
Okay. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, great. So the applicant is requesting the front setback to be reduced from 45 feet to 20 feet, and the maximum height of the retaining walls to exceed 6 feet, because the current site or his lot has an excessive slope, and from Pindo's Pass down to the other street, it has an excessive slope, and I've brought images of the site as well. So we are planning for the front entry of the house to be along Pindo's Pass, and to do this, we'll have to have retaining walls as well as pretty much fill in this space to make this build achievable. And this is why we are requesting these variances. And on our previous meeting, you guys had requested to show stormwater management plan, or how we were going to reduce stormwater, et cetera, and also pretty much show our strategies, and I have that as well. And this has been shared with John Peterson as well. That one.
I like that.
Those cute squirrels.
No, we don't have it. Can you bring it?
Hopefully it pulls up. So essentially we'll have a dry basin with all the downspouts and excessive runoff created by this new construction house going down to this dry well, which will pretty much reduce or at least minimize the amount of stormwater all at once, and it will help infiltrate the water at a slower rate instead of causing excessive water runoff. And we are also showing the two retaining walls. So we'll have two retaining walls here. The first one closest to the front street will be around 20 feet, and also the next one will be around 20 feet. So we're reducing both heights. Instead of having one single wall, we'll have two walls that are terraced to help reduce the size of that wall. And I believe that is all. Wanted to present our strategy for the stormwater runoff, as well as show existing site conditions.
Okay, thank you. All right, so perhaps I wasn't sufficiently clear on one point, but I'm going to invite you to have a seat in a second. But and I do appreciate your breaking up those retaining walls into multiple retaining walls. That's certainly going to be, I would think, an improvement in the visual. But I was looking for some sort of visual for what this is going to look like as one looked up the mountain and saw this. So that we're getting closer, though. But let me ask you to have a seat for a second, and let's let Stormwater comment on your submittals on the stormwater issue. Okay.
I do have. There will be like a canopy of trees in the front that would be pretty much hiding the retaining wall. I do have an image that will show what it's looking like from the street view.
You have that with you?
I do. Can I?
Okay, let's get that in the record.
Down and grab it?
So it's a squirrel.
Okay, so sorry, can you go back? Yeah, so this rendering is along, one second, the front street, Pindo's Place, and the canopy of trees isn't exactly representative, but essentially once you're up along this street, Pindo's Place, driving up, the retaining walls will be minimal just because of all the tree canopy shown, and this should be a fairly well representative of what, once it's built, how it would look like. So most of these retaining walls will be hidden. I know they're tall and you're on a slope, so you can imagine it's gonna be a little taller, but the tree canopies as well, we aren't, the homeowner is not planning on removing any trees aren't necessary, so these trees should be helpful in at least disguising this wall in the back.
So I appreciate these. Do you have any visuals to show what it's going to look like from a greater distance than from the curb?
I don't, I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay.
That's to the backyard. That's the front.
So it's a great looking house. Let me let you sit down. Let's go with stormwater and try to get that resolved today.
Thank you.
Hello, Andrew Heath, Cobb County Stormwater Management.
Thank you. And we had a discussion at one of the work sessions, I believe, since this case last came before us. And my understanding is you had received and reviewed the stormwater runoff plan here for this property?
Yes, that's right. And I appreciate the applicant providing that. This does explain a lot better about how they would manage the runoff from the site. Essentially, they're capturing that in a pipe system that would go down to that dry well system that sort of appears there in the top left corner of the site plan. And the house is elevated up on top of some pretty tall walls. This time they have a tier of walls, which I was trying to quickly look at that. I think if I did my math right, that looking at it from Pendos Place, which is that street on the left side, the wall would be the highest on the right side. And it would be the top wall is about 19 feet high and the lower wall is about 46 feet high. So it's a good drop from above where the house is going to be down kind of toward Pendos Place where that water treatment system is going to be. So I just wanted to make sure that they had thought about that, and it looks like they have given that some consideration. So I think that's good.
Okay. So does stormwater management still have comments specifically that we should include if and when we approve this?
Probably if it's, to maybe make it subject to like this site plan or the submitted site plan to show that they are going to provide that system and how they're going to provide it. It wasn't shown before, but if this site plan were included as reference, just to show that they're going to do that, I think that really satisfies our concerns.
Okay. Does anyone else have questions for stormwater? Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
And Mr. Peterson, my concern is just the idea of there being a 46-foot tall wall and the possibility of this having long-range visibility, that I'd still like to see some visuals on that. Do you have anything that you think would allow us to resolve this today, or do you have any thoughts about that?
I believe we approved one of these either up the street or down the street from this, which is very similar to this. And on that one, as I recall, it wasn't a tiered wall system. It was just one single wall. And it was about this high, 30 to 40 feet tall. Based on what the applicant has said, this probably won't be visible from a distance away because of all the trees that back up to Pendos Place. And the view from Pendos Pass would be insignificant because you're looking down the hill at the house.
I'm not concerned with the view immediately behind it. I'm only concerned with the long-range view. Have we required any stamped concrete or anything of that sort in the past, or something architecturally to break up the idea of this huge, massive concrete wall?
Can we bring the applicant back up here? Did he state it was to be concrete poured walls, or are they block walls?
I don't know, but he could comment on that.
So the retaining wall per the HOA will be constructed out of Allen block. So Allen block, so it'll just be block wall.
Okay, block wall?
Yes.
Okay. And those are the decorative kind, have like a split face on them where it's kind of rough?
It'll have a rough.
Okay. So it won't be a monolithic concrete wall, Commissioner Blunt, it'll be a block wall.
All right. Should we require the stipulation, though, that it be, a lot of these things have basically what it's mica in it, the the split face. It's got like mica on one side that is the exterior side, so it looks a little better than your average half block. What can we put on this to kind of?
Can we put, you know, we could put on there that the district planning, the district variance commissioner approved the final wall design or appearance. And then you can kind of pick out what you think is good and what's not good.
Okay. Never done that before, but you're saying that's, we've done it a lot on the planning commission with the district commissioner to approve, but if my fellow members are fine with that, I'm fine with that.
I just have one question. For these walls, which are rather extraordinarily tall, what is the hardship? What is the reason for these to be so high?
We're requesting this because of the slope of the land, just the dramatic slope. I mean, to make the site buildable, we'd have to essentially create these retaining walls to be able to hold up the house and coming down from Pendos Trail. So that's why we are requesting these walls to be above 6 feet.
To be above 6?
Yes, yeah. And there's, I mean, as Mr. Peterson explained, there are other homes in this neighborhood with similar heights, I mean, up to 40 feet. So we aren't necessarily the only ones here. So, I mean, like, and there's 2 lots down that has a similar retaining wall of the same height, which I believe may have been approved, so.
Okay, thank you.
I think my only comment would be to ensure that the materials that are chosen are HOA compliant.
One more question, Mr. Peterson. I can still recall having a case in the Hunt Cliff area of Fulton County back when I was a dark-haired young lawyer, where there were some issues there. But I remember being at a social function at another house in Hunt Cliff where you could literally see all the sheetrock damage from the stress that the house was under because the back of it was slowly sinking. When a house is built like this, what kind of special requirements do we put on foundations and footings and things of that nature? If you could just comment on that.
Well, the footings for the foundation do have to be inspected by development inspections before they're poured and after they're poured. You know, there are cases in this neighborhood where they've had an engineer certify how it was built, so it showed that it met building code. So it's two-tiered. It could be our building inspector, number one, and then a private engineer, number two.
Would you recommend that in this instance due to the severe topo?
Well, the Development Inspections Department does a good job in inspecting these, so I'll just put it on Development Inspections to do all the work that's required as far as making the foundations compliant with the building code.
Okay. All right. What I would rather do you think you could get us some sort of visuals on this block you're going to use? Get us something within like a week that we could circulate and bring you back in a month? Do you think?
Just like, would you like a example of the block the homeowner would like to choose, or, you know, like an example?
If it won't hurt your back too much, you're free to bring one in or one or two in.
I'll bring 2 in just.
Yeah, but in the meantime, if you can maybe just get us
Okay.
visual images and forward that to us.
Yeah,
okay?
for sure. Definitely. And also, on top of that, we do have a geotech report. We have a structural engineer working with us to make sure these foundation walls are structurally sound. The foundation for the retaining walls will be shallow foundations, and then for the home, we are expecting shallow foundations as well, but there has been discussion where they're going deep foundation, et cetera, just to alleviate all the pressure on the retaining walls. So this has been thoroughly thought out with the design team. So
Could you go ahead and get that filed as well within the next week or 10 days so we can have that to review?
it will be submitted with a building permit. I'm just not sure if we'll be able to get it within like the next week. They're still working to wrap it. Like I said, they're finalizing their designs, but in terms of presenting to you, it will be within it'll all be presented within the building permit and all other.
You think you can get it to us before the next meeting?
I mean, for sure, next meeting, hopefully it will be submitted for permit by then, but
Okay.
I think that's,
Has he been sworn in?
sorry. Yeah, sure.
Is there something else you wanted to say?
Sorry, that was the homeowner.
Sure.
Yeah, so he just wanted us to show the existing retaining walls or the images we were presenting earlier
we
with
get-
the. Oh,
speak into
sorry,
it.
There you
sorry,
go.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
So that was the homeowner. He just wanted us to present the Google images that we were showing earlier of the existing retaining walls of their excessive height. I know his are on the slope, but, just to show that there are similar walls of the same height here in this neighborhood.
Yeah, I don't doubt in that neighborhood, there are some tall retaining walls. I would expect it, yes.
Yeah.
So you have a picture.
For example, on the image on the left side, you could sort of see, the image on the left side, you can sort of see the other homes that have similar retaining walls that exceed that height. And also there's one on the corner of Pindos Trail and Pindos Pass that exceeds 40 feet in height. Also constructed of Allen block material.
And what kind of block is that?
Allen block is just the split block.
Okay, and then could you show us the exterior of the house again?
Yeah.
You had a visual of the exterior of the house, right?
I do. Would you want to see it from the street or the front?
All the above.
Okay.
Here he is again.
Okay, so this is street view. This is the backyard view. You can sort of see that retaining wall on that side next to the garage, and would be the view from Pindos Pass.
So the retaining wall that we're looking at, is this part of the same wall at the end of the driveway that we're looking at? Is this
That's
part of-
correct.
Okay. And would it be your understanding that the rear of that wall is going to look substantially like the front of that wall in texture and in color?
Let me double check with you one second. That's correct. I believe that image is showing Allen block material as of now.
Okay. With that clarification, or I'll just throw it open for comment to the other members of the board if they're comfortable with us moving forward today.
I'm in real estate. I see it quite a bit. I'm very comfortable with the materials that he's presenting.
All right.
I think they've done a very good job of due diligence in working on tricky sites.
Any other comments? No? Okay. Then my motion will be for approval of the variance request as modified. Do we have the most recent modification date so we can be specific about that?
And I believe it was attached to an email that was sent to me on July 29th. It showed the retaining walls and also the stormwater plan that the applicant displayed.
Okay. So the request for a variance as modified by email of July 29th, 2025, or thereabouts, is approved, subject to condition that the retaining walls from the rear appear substantially as they appear on the front and the visuals you showed us today at this hearing. And subject to all their staff comments and stormwater comments, and with the additional condition that the stormwater will be addressed as represented in your emails of and about July 29th, 2025.
I'll second it.
All right, please place your votes. All right, and Ms. Sauermauer is saying yes as well. Thank you. It's passed.
Okay, next variance is variance case V94, David Walker. Request a variance to number 1, increase the maximum allowable impervious coverage from required 40% to 52%. And number 2, reduce the side setback from required 10 feet to 8 feet adjacent to the northern property line in land lot 228 of the 20th District. The property is located on the east side of Fernstone Trail, west of Fernstone Terrace. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is present. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V94? 1? Okay, we have 1 opposed. All those who wish to address the board either for or against the variance, please come forward to be sworn in.
All right, I appreciate your time today. My name is David Walker. I'm the homeowner at 6279 Fernstone Trail. We live in West Cobb in the Brookstone community. We're here today to request a variance as stated to the, I guess, the impervious coverage requirement for Cobb County. Our plans are to, improve the property, putting a improved landscaping throughout the backyard and a pool, small pool within the space to the rear of the house. Right now, we have an engineered drawing that I think is on the screen at the moment. It shows that we understand the requirements, 40% or maximum impervious. The existing property right now is slightly over that at 45%. And the new construction that we're proposing would increase that by another 7%, which would put us at 52% impervious. We've been mindful to not fill up the space too much with a large, excessively sized pool. It's a small plunge pool with a spa, trying to maintain as much of the grass area as we can, especially on the left side of the property. It's just unfortunate we have a small lot in order to fit this in the space. But, our goal today is to get approval to exceed the impervious requirements and then be able to submit the plans and work with stormwater to put in any mitigation efforts that might be necessary. Drainage on our property is important to us, and, we're over now, so we want to correct the issues that are currently there, as well as mitigate for the additional square footage that's being proposed. Are there any questions? I don't know the next step here. Any questions?
No, you just. You need to, just, if you have nothing else, just have a seat for a minute, and then if we need to ask questions. Yeah, oh, there is, I'm so sorry. Thank you, Kim. All right, if you have finished.
Can't hear you.
Please take your seat, and we'll have the opposition come up.
Okay, fair enough.
Sorry. If you'd like to come forward, state your name, and then what your concerns are.
Hi, my name is Wendy Seiler, and I am a neighbor at 6277 Fernstone Trail. And I am proposed today because of the negative impacts. I am on the lower elevation from the Walker's yard. I'm the lower elevation, and so I am concerned about significant runoff. My other concerns are access of the construction vehicles. I don't have information at this time about where they are going to put the construction vehicles. In speaking with Ms. Walker in May, She had advised that they were going to go between our homes, which is very small, tract of land between both of our homes, where I have a retaining wall with my pool equipment and 3 air conditioners, so about a large amount of money in that area where I have 2 retaining walls. So I'm not opposed, they're my neighbors, so I'm not opposed. I just need a plan in place so that my property is protected. And I have not been able to get information about where the vehicles are going and what the plan is for a fence. If they're going, the note that I got was that the fence was going to be replaced, but the fence is currently on my property, so if they would put up a new fence on their property rather than taking my fence down. The letter indicated that they were replacing my fence on my property. So I just have a few questions before it gets approved. Also, they were going to, so when I was talking to Ms. Walker in May, she indicated they were going to have a truckload of dirt to level out their backyard. And she did not know at that time if there was going to be a retaining wall put between our yards so that that dirt did not get washed into my yard and into my area where my pool equipment is. And I do have a picture of that I sent this morning to presentations.
Please provide, you have a picture?
Yes, I sent it to presentations.gov this morning, but if you need it on my phone as well.
That would be helpful. It's tricky from houses at that color.
So that is the area between, my home is on the left and the Walkers is on the right. And as I said, as a conversation in May, that they were indicating that all of the construction equipment was going to be driven through that area. My concern is that is all my air conditioners and my pool equipment, and I don't want anything to happen to that wall. And in their backyard, you can see in the back is higher than mine. So all of that water is going to wash down where my basement is as well.
Excuse me, could you speak up a little bit louder?
Oh, sorry. So the areas between our houses, that is my basement area walkout, as well as 3 air conditioners, a heater, and all of my pool equipment. And I'm concerned that if they drive the equipment through that grass, it will put pressure. I don't know. I'm just asking, is it going to put pressure on that wall? And also, their yard is higher than mine. Is all of that water, what is in place to mitigate all of the water during construction and after from going into my yard and my basement walkout area?
Do you have any other comments you'd like to make?
Just that I have been in that home for 20 years. I've had my pool for 13 years. Despite numerous storms and floods, I have had no issues with either flooding in my pool area, anywhere in my yard, and I just want that to continue. I just want a peace of mind that that continues to be the case.
You're welcome to sit down if you have no other comments at this point.
Thank you.
Okay, let me start with Mr. Peterson. Do you have any thoughts as to what kind of planning we should have in place to alleviate or do what we can to put extra precautions in place to prevent any stormwater problems during, perhaps you should redirect this to Mr. Heath, but during the construction phase?
It's probably going to be more of a stormwater site plan review or site plan, site plan review question, Commissioner Bowen, because they are required to use best management practices when disturbing areas, so they will be required to put up silt fence and maybe some hay bales and some other things, but that would all be determined at our permitting counter, depending on what they're doing and how much dirt they're bringing in.
Let me go ahead and go to Mr. Heath then, if I could.
Andrew Heath, Cobb County Stormwater Management.
Can you speak to what kind, assuming we permit something back there at some point, can you speak to what kind of enhanced stormwater controls we might wish to consider to protect the homeowner?
Yes, if you're standing on the street looking at the applicant's property, it's generally higher on the right side than it is on the left side. And the opposition that just spoke, her home is on that lower side. And our Cobb GIS photography shows, contours show that the water now from somewhat from her backyard and from the applicant's backyard both tries to make its way through that area now to the street. So in the developed condition, there's going to be more impervious area there from the pool decking. And so we've already asked them to install a system to help mitigate that runoff. But really, there's probably kind of not an ideal situation there now with the way the water tries to go between the homes. And as you saw in that photograph, it's kind of a confined area there now. So I would probably recommend that for that area that's behind the house where that pool, potentially stormwater mitigation system might be constructed, that the outlet of that system, frequently it's released onto the surface just to let gravity carry the water where it went before. But that system could be improved if the outlet of that system were sort of piped between the homes and brought out to the front where it could be released in the front yard area and then drain onto the street. Then you wouldn't have that runoff drainage, trying to find its way across the surface where it might get down, near the opposition's basement area and the area where they have their air conditioners where that wall is. So that would probably be an additional thing that, as Mr. Peterson was saying, that when the site plan is actually developed for the house, we look at those details and make sure that that's in place so that we can get that water safely between the homes.
None of that piping is currently part of the current plan, is that correct?
No, the current plan doesn't have that level of detail on it.
Okay. All right. If any of my fellow members have questions for Mr. Heath? No? Okay. Then let me get the applicant back up, if I could. Thank you.
Excuse me, can we expand the map a little bit of the two homes? Thank you. Thanks so much.
All right. So is piping water underground something you're willing to entertain?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, this, we put together a plan, I think I would say the minimum requirements for the variance approval, and our intention was to work with the stormwater team during the permit review process in order to put in dry wells, additional drainage. We were just talking about our goal all along is to run a pipe through that area closer to the curb line. And we're very conscious of water getting, I have water issues in my basement with that area, and it's great that Wendy does not. So the goal here is going to be to direct as much of that closer to the curb line as possible to make sure I don't have issues going forward, and that we protect her property as well.
And then my other question I had previously spoken with your pool company about was the possibility of having somewhat less deck. There was a whole lot of concrete shown on the plan as submitted. Is that something you would entertain?
We've talked about that, and we were okay with that. If
Okay.
I think our goal here today, if there's a number of a maximum number of impervious you'd like us to target, right? We're already over right now. We need a little bit more. If we need to try to reduce that by a few square feet to get to like 50%, we'd be willing to modify the drawings and as part of the permitting process to get that reduced a little bit.
All right. Okay. Those are all the questions I have for the applicant. Then I'll
I have a question. My concern is the equipment that you'll be bringing in to dig out Are you proposing to do it to the left of your house or on your concrete drive, which basically I would prefer that you do it on your concrete drive. You can put the protection down that's necessary for large equipment and dirt to go back to the backyard than this smaller area that could impact the house next door.
I agree that would be the preference, but we have a wall back there, so we would not be able to drive the construction equipment and take it down over the wall to get to where the pool's being dug. So unfortunately, the only place that it's accessible would be between our two properties. But it's not a big pool. The equipment's going to be small. It will fit through the space, and we're going to make sure we have like matting put down. And what that does, I'm in the construction industry, so I know this process pretty well, but that'll make sure that the load is distributed evenly across the grass area, so we're not putting undue pressure on the wall and on the other side of the property.
So then if you're going to use this, if you have to use this left-hand side, you'll make sure that whatever you've disturbed, even on her side, that at the end of the day, that you'll mitigate whatever disturbance that is created, because you are bringing in equipment that's been very stable for so long. I would be, I'm a little hesitant in her wall being there with all the things that she has on that exposed. That's my concern.
Yes, I mean, we're sensitive to that area. It's adjacent to my house as well. Like I mentioned, I have some drainage issues over there. Once the pool work is done, we're going to do all new landscaping through that area. We'll make sure that it's regraded. We shouldn't even be close to or make contact with the wall. But our drainage pipe that we're going to be digging through there, if we find any issues with the drainage pipe that's there, there is a drainage pipe there right now. I've seen it because I've been digging around that area already. If there's any issues with that drainage pipe, we'll replace it. I would anticipate the most disturbance that we'll be doing on the property next door might be some of the sod right adjacent between our property lines, and that'll be replaced and addressed in the final improvements.
So the amount of dirt that you'll be pulling out, how are you, then you are going to be using some sort of machinery that would pull the dirt out and then bring it to a truck in the front to dump?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we won't be bringing trucks to the back. It'll just be small earth-moving equipment because that's all we can fit between the areas. So I'd say it'd be like a mini excavator and a Bobcat skid steer. Both of those pieces are probably 7 feet wide. And yeah, the dirt will have to be scooped and hauled from the back to the front, so we don't have anything, we can't physically fit large construction equipment back there.
Okay, I just have concerns because I know a lot of other properties where this has occurred and have created some major issues for the next door neighbor as well as the front of the property. So that's just my concern right now.
Yeah, I wish there was something else I could do to provide those assurances that, I don't know, maybe in the permit closeout process that the neighbor can, review it and be part of that.
How tall is that wall?
In
the back.
Wendy's wall?
Your
Oh, it's only like 2.5 feet to 3 feet. Yes, ma'am.
The wall between the houses.
so that no, the wall in the back is
Back, okay.
So this is only like 2 feet tall? This little wall that he just,
Yes, ma'am.
it's like 2 feet tall? So, I just think that hauling these little machineries back and forth, getting the dirt out, if there wasn't that the machines could then somehow dig out, and then you can have something on your property on that side that can, for a 2-foot wall, can load it up and dump it into a small truck to haul out on that side. That isn't disturbing this is a very small, tight area. So those are my comments. I just am worried about this being, not so much just being done, but the impact that it could have on your neighbor. And when I look at, we look at, you're supposed to have a hardship, shape, size, and topography. It's not really a hardship, you don't have a pool. So I just have to weigh those things.
I understand. I mean, I wish there was a better way I could make that commitment to you all, but we're good neighbors. We're conscious of the neighborhood. If unfortunately any damage is done, we will take care of it. We will repair it. But it would be very challenging to access that area from the other side. And I believe the equipment we're talking about 7 feet wide. There's, I think, 12 feet between the house and the wall, so it's plenty of width. The dirt there is rock hard. I've tried to dig in it, you can't. So I see no risk of the equipment doing any damage to that area. That's just based on my professional experience and doing this sort of work and being in the industry.
How long do you anticipate this project to take?
As fast as possible, but I'll let my pool contractor comment to that.
We anticipate 12 weeks.
12 weeks. And of those 12 weeks, how many hours per day could the neighbor anticipate being interrupted?
That's a really great question that's very difficult to answer. I would say pool construction, the way that we typically work is we would dig the pool. We try to dig a pool every Tuesday. And through Tuesday through Thursday, there would be people there. And then we have our inspections through Cobb County. After that is done, the following Thursday, we do the shotcrete. Then we do some grading after that. So there's usually, if I had to put a number to it, I'd say 20 hours a week, possibly 40 at the most, but never over 40. The earliest mornings we would have would be somewhere in the neighborhood of 7:30, and they're usually out of there by 4.
So between 7:30 and 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions?
So my motion at this time is, you can have a seat. Thank you. My motion is that we go ahead and hold this till next month so we can try to come up with a plan to address the concerns that have been articulated by the opposition and by my fellow board members.
Okay,
I second that motion.
place your votes. Motion is approved. Ms. Summerhour, it's approved. Thank you. Oops, my vote didn't come through. Okay. Next.
Okay. Next case is variance case V97. Teresa and Andre Mitz request a variance to reduce the rear setback from required 32 feet per variance V26 of 2025 to 19 feet in land lot 336 of the 20th district. The property is located on the north side of Midway Road, west of Wild Stream Place. Is the applicant present? Let the record show the applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V97? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in?
Yes, I'm Jamie Franks with Alair Homes Marietta, here on the homeowner's behalf.
Okay.
I don't,
Talk to us about the project.
so the
Are
current-
the owners here?
ma'am?
Are the owners with you?
No, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead. I just was asking.
So the property has, in the current, we were passed a variance 2 or 3 months ago, it's off the top of my head, but the client decided that they didn't like the way the building was going to be on the property. So they had this pool house that was pretty much in the variance, grandfathered in when we did that variance at the 19-foot setback. So we had, the client had the ideal that with the house being so long, trying to get it to tie back together, that he decided he wanted to turn that structure and attach it to that existing pool house. Like, it's not a house, it's open cabana, kind of covered porch with a bathroom for a shower and a pool equipment. So we were trying to just turn the building and use that existing accessory structure, 19-foot setback, not thinking about it, that it was called out as an accessory structure. So we're just trying to turn what we previous had and attach it to that so that it feels, it accomplishes what the client was going for. It gives them privacy. It gives them the open, enclosed cabana kind of bar area. And then the initial thing, the initial reason this project was going, he's really into golf and he wanted an open golf simulator. So this allows him to turn the building, be able to play in his golf simulator. Look, he has 3 lots there that are all his, that he's converted into his own little golf course out there. So his ideal was turn it, have this nice open wide wall, be able to smack out, play his golf game, look out on his golf field, have a whole big open pool area on the main level. I think that's all I have.
Also, you have a, on the right, this is 99, right? You, huh? 97. All right, never mind. Okay. Sorry about that. I was looking at 99 while you were talking. So, Fred, you really are busy this time.
Yes, but this is my last case this month anyway. Okay. So remind me what you folks asked for earlier this year and what we approved. Can you just work me through that?
The current setback, I want to say the setbacks were 35 feet, and the initial one we asked for 32 feet. We were going to come off we were adding a 25 by 35 addition.
That was already in there, right?
Correct. Yes, sir. So we passed that variance.
Right.
And that's when when they called out all the other accessory structures that were on the property at that time. There was three structures, accessory garage that was added to the property at some time, a doghouse, and the pool structure there that converted that 19-foot setback. That's the only reason we were asking for it.
All right, but part of what already got approved earlier this year was an addition to come off for lack of a better term, the back right of the house, correct?
Correct, yes, sir.
All right, and how close was that going to come to the pool
The
structure?
pool cabana, I believe, initially it was 8 feet. It was enough to get a golf cart through it.
Okay, that's no longer a prerequisite or a need?
Well, he's doing the variance to ask for as much as possible. Our current design, I think I'm getting it actually on Friday. The current designer is persisting that we stay with our first original variance, not tying the 2 structures together. So, I mean, I'm the one pulling my hair out trying to make everybody happy. But the client really wanted him turned for his sanity. He feels it's going to be a sound wall for his neighbors back there, more privacy. He's got the pool. It's not letting the sound go past, so.
Well, I get that because that was part of my consideration, because what I remember is even though we didn't have formal opposition show up at a hearing, a letter was written by a neighbor complaining about potential noise from the pool area. And my thought was expanding off that back right part of the house would actually reduce the amount of noise.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Moving towards that neighbor's property?
And that
potentially?
one particular neighbor, so the whole property is wired for sound, so to speak. So as we talk is typically how he plays his jazz all during the day while he's out there smacking his golf balls. So, I mean, the neighbor to a certain extent, it's not that he does it at night or what have you, but it's all Saturday probably while he's out there. But the neighbors are, the one particular neighbor, he's had to screen his fence up already because they sit there, take pictures and come up there and try to like get through the gate. And so that's a personal thing. I can't deal with that
Okay.
part.
Interesting, okay. Do any of my fellow members have questions of the applicant?
I have a question for sound. So this proposed building, it won't have speakers all around, like, will the sound be contained within this structure?
So from what I've seen on the property, in front of the pool house, going to, if you're looking at the front of the house, the pool house is in the rear right. So the first speaker is in front of the pool house already. And then there's another one at the end of the pool. And then in the front yard, it actually starts on the, as you pull in the first gate on the right, there's a speaker to the right of that gate, and then one at the other gate, and then on the other two properties. So the other neighbor, I think, gets more off of the street speakers than they actually get off the rear of the house.
Okay. So this is, all these speakers that are everywhere are just for his enjoyment while he's golfing?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll let the district commissioner.
Yeah, I think the folks from District 3 would be better able to deal with this than from District 1. We're used to car barns and she sheds in District 1. You know, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do at this point is make a motion that we hold this for 30 days and bring you back in 30 days, because it sounds like you were still in something of a dispute with a design professional over what would happen back there. So I just want to, knowing we've already passed something once, I just want to get it right the second time around.
And that's why we were just pursuing the second, so that the homeowner could tie the two together as an outdoor space that's joined to the house, where the cabana could be in the wintertime closed off into a separate, and then his golf simulator could either be open and or the same with the cabana. You could have so it's a very good.
Well, this golf simulator, I've seen several.
Yes, ma'am.
Through this huge tour of homes, of gigantic homes. These golf simulators, you're gonna put it into this pool house, cabana, whatever. And that generates a lot of noise as well. So how can, in the next 30 days, can you come up with some sort of plan to be able to mitigate the amount of noise that this property is creating to the neighbors? Because you know, this front part is fine. I'm concerned about the neighbors that are off this Willstream Place, those back there that are going to be impacted by this cabana and then the things that he wants in it. Like here, it looks like it's very, very small, but I don't think it really is. So I'm just worried about the types of activities he wants in there and the noise factor. So when you come back in 30 days, you can discuss that a little bit more with us.
So as it goes, if I go and on the previous, if we're on the route that we are now, and I go back to the variance office with the almost already passed variance, the way it was passed previous, and we don't exceed the if we add to the small cabana that's there now, as long as it's under the 600 square foot, And then the initial 25 by 35 that was passed in the previous variance, I would be able to still move forward because that's kind of where my new architect is going.
You're saying you're going to use the,
You don't want this variance, you want the
The
one
last
we
one.
already approved.
Correct.
You want to like
I mean,
pull this one.
I don't want to pull this one because this client is, he's already paid for something and then and then I won't have a true answer until Friday or actually Monday when we have but the version that he's asking for now is actually more beneficial to the neighbors because it turns, instead of having a hallway of open noise back and forth, he actually turned it where everything was going all to the left.
Why don't we just hold it for 30 days, and I'll come out there and meet with you after you have your Friday meeting. How's that?
I'm
see where we are. We'll see
perfectly
where we
fine
are.
with that. Yes, sir.
and while it may not be pertinent to the variance, but having someone that's a sound expert on the angles of the speakers and the type might help mitigate some of the neighbors' concerns. Because it doesn't mean that it will make changes, but at least it's worth taking a look at.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so,
All right, well, you can have a seat. That's my motion, that we hold this for 30 days.
Second.
okay, all right, please place. Everybody's up there, and Ms. Amara has voted yes. Okay. Sure.
Okay, next variance on the agenda is variance case V99, Mashandra and Andy Ruffin. Request a variance to reduce the setbacks for an accessory structure, which is a proposed 1,250 square foot garage, required 100 feet to 2 feet adjacent to the northern and western property lines in land lot 489 of the 19th district. The property is located on the north side of Green Drive, south of Freestone Way. Is the applicant present? The applicant is here. Is there anyone here opposed to variance case V99? Let the record show there's no one opposed. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in?
Madam Chair, while the applicant is coming forward, I would like to recuse myself as this is in my district, but I have a personal relationship with the applicant.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
If you have anything for visuals, be sure you hand them over. So we-
Okay.
Go ahead.
Again, good afternoon. My name is Andy Ruffin. This is my lovely wife, Mashonda Ruffin, and we reside at 1920 Green Drive, Southwest in Marietta, Georgia. And we are requesting a reduction in the setback from 100 feet to 2 feet to build a accessory structure for our garage for our RV. We had this RV for over 3 years now. We bought an RV cover, but the area that we live in, trees, we got a lot of pine trees. So pine trees are falling constantly. And I have 2 that have fallen on my RV as of today. So we have some proposed structures here that we want to build a 25 by 50 garage for the RV to protect our investment. Mashonda, do you have anything else you would like to speak to?
Just other than we have sent out the letters to the new community that is residing behind us, behind our home, and we've had it signed off with the neighbors as well, that's on the side of us.
Okay. Are you planning, is this the correct Is that all you want to tell me?
At this time, yes.
Okay. Well, why don't you we'll just close the public hearing and then we'll just ask you questions. Why do you need to put you're at a slab situation now for the RV space?
Say it one more time.
Slab, do you have a concrete slab already in place?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
Okay. Is it always been there, or is that something you poured before you realized you need a variance?
Right.
Right, we had a contractor pour it. We did ask, like, is there any kind of limit to where it has to be? He said, as long as it was inside our property line, that we were good, so. But when we requested our permit for the structure, that's when we discovered, no, there's 100 feet setback it's supposed to be.
And this is a current survey?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes. We have
Okay.
current.
Another question I have is, our stormwater gentleman was out there and mentioned that he did not see the signs.
Yeah, so we have the sign with us. Due to the lot of rain, we had it posted on the gate that comes out, but it tore in 3 or 4 different places that we had. So what we did, we took it out of the weather and we put it on our front door to our home.
And I could show you the pictures where it was up on the gate and when we had to put it on the porch. It's on my phone.
Yes. And that's recently happened, probably about a week ago.
Yeah.
Right.
That it tore in 3 different pieces, and we got tape on it. We have it with us. It's in our vehicle now. We know if we had to turn that back in, but we do have that.
Yeah. Is that a approved posting location? Mr. Peterson?
The sign is supposed to be posted at the right-of-way so the traveling public can see it when they're driving by. It is within the board's discretion, and if you want to determine it's not been properly posted or not, what I would like to do is see the pictures of the sign posted on the gate and out on the house.
Okay,
To see if it's visible from the road.
We have it. Just give me 1 second. I should have just sent that one to you.
And while you're looking for that, you did say that you had contacted the developer behind you that's building the subdivision?
Yes, I think it's Freestone. Freestone, I'm not familiar with the last name of it, but it's off Macklin Road that connects back to the back of our property.
Yeah, and he had no oppositions?
No.
No.
While we're
Go ahead.
coming up with it, you showed a number of structures that you're proposing. Do you have one
It was just that one.
that you, can you pull that up? Because I saw it. It
We
was,
showed the front and side of it in the back, so you can see it all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah, if you can show that, I'd appreciate that.
Thank you.
No worries. You can just see that, just the front. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're looking to match our existing home with this structure.
And you're going to take power out to the structure?
Yes, we will need, I do want power to go from our home to this structure. From where the line comes into our home at is about 30 feet to that structure.
Yeah. Besides the RV,
Yep.
what else will you be using that structure for? Because from my estimation, the structure's,
It would be for my riding lawnmower. I have a four-wheeler that I'll put in there also, and the Jeep that I tow behind my RV.
okay. Is there an attic in this space or a second floor? I mean,
No,
There's no stairs.
no
to
stairs.
there.
No.
the other concern I have is the the fact that no driveway is shown on what you have sent us in the way of,
Right, correct. So we, as far as driveway was concerned, we did not do a structured driveway. We're just gonna drive on our grass to get to the structure. And we did put some gravel down, some milling, thank you, down to help us to facilitate that.
okay.
So can I, well,
Go ahead.
can I ask you another question? So you have right now your RV sitting on a slab, is that correct?
Right, as of 3 months ago. Previous to that, it was sitting, as you see the image,
Just
you
on
sit
the
right
grass.
now. You see that image right now. Right past that gate, it was sitting right there in that
Where
open
the
area right
milling
there.
driveway is that you see there. Thank you. You're right in there.
It was sitting on the dirt?
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason why is because our driveway that goes to the house, it cannot take the size of the RV to turn into our driveway, based on the narrow aspect of Green Drive.
Okay.
Because you do have to have a driveway, and that we need to also talk to DOT about how far apart the driveways can be, or if it connects in the back. I have some questions for both DOT and Stormwater.
Okay.
About what? Huh?
Okay, but we did, if I can just add, Ms. Berkeley, there is a driveway that's there that will lead up to the storage building, the accessory structure, and for pulling out of it. So, and I have other pictures on my phone that I can show that.
Is it a paved driveway?
No, ma'am.
It's milling, so it's technically like the highway pavement, the milling structure.
So what I see here is you have a whole lot of land. Why is there a need to come within 2 feet of your neighbor's property with the structure?
Okay, so we have a lot of land, but the land is only accessible if you look to the right side of the house, right? Where all the trees are, right? It will be, we did get a proposal on that, and it was like $250,000 to be able to put a structure there, and that was 3 years ago.
To remove all the trees?
Correct, to move all the trees, build the structure, the whole 9 yards, get power to it. It was just economically not feasible. And the proposed site that we have, we thought we did the least interruption between the view from Green Drive to our house, right? It will sit back into the tree line from the street, from where we have it set at.
Right, but is it possible still to generally use that area you wish to without having it so close to the neighborhood behind you?
At this time, I would say it's not an option for us at this time.
How many acres of land do you own?
2.67.
Sorry, but on this view, right where your RV, that's where the structure's gonna be, right there.
The structure is gonna be, if you go turn up, that's where it was parked at originally.
That's where it was
there.
parked,
That's where it was parked at
So you're
originally.
gonna take
So
it-
if you go back, you go all the way to the end of the property,
You're gonna put it at the very back.
right there, you see a trailer that's parked, go up a little bit more, right there.
Maybe you can see it from this view behind where our pool is. That's where the concrete is
Right.
poured.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so in this area right here is where you're gonna put this structure. And the
Correct.
person next to you, that's most impacted? Well, you have
No.
this,
No, so you see where the trees are in the row right there, where our, the realty company planted those trees, privacy trees for us. There's about, the buffer 30 feet or so, and then they have the yards before you even get to the homes. So we're not very close to the homes.
Okay.
We're close to the line, but the way it's set up, their yards are there as well as the buffer between our property and the Freestone.
I thought there was.
And there's no houses that are there as of yet. There are some further down to the right, but you see where the trees are, where
Yes.
our structure will be. No homes have been built there yet.
Okay. Is there someone here from traffic?
Yes.
Oh, DOT.
Wilson?
Please.
Yes.
We keep getting different people.
If you'll take a seat for just a minute, right up here at the front.
Thank you.
Wilson Collins, Department of Transportation.
2 or 3 questions. Number one, the first question I had was the way the driveway is coming off of something in the backyard, so that does not affect distances between driveways. Because as my understanding, the driveway will split off from the back drive. After you come through the fence, it'll split off and go over to that concrete slab.
I believe if I have it right, there's just a single driveway right now towards the east, and that the gravel driveway they're talking about is inaccessible by the fence, so that would,
Yeah,
so that wouldn't be so they only have the one driveway to the east right now.
yeah.
So,
So-
but
As long as it comes off of the existing driveway, it doesn't present a problem.
no, ma'am.
Okay. I just thought, I was given the impression when I was looking at this that the driveway was having a different access route when I looked at the design to begin with.
I believe they've got the concrete going 25 feet from
Yeah.
the right-of-way, so that would kind of be the end of the purview with the Department of Transportation.
Okay. So I wanted to be sure, and I had unfortunately had not seen this overview, and this now helps me see it better. Y'all have anything else for him?
So, I guess I'm just having a hard time visualizing what this is. So they come in off their existing driveway, correct? Or they're coming off of Millens that they have from Green Drive to Park? Did you go look at?
The attached sketch that I saw kind of made reference to didn't show any revisions to the current driveway. So I don't have any updated site plans to what that driveway might look like. I do have in my comments, should this trigger an LDP, that the driveway would be reviewed to conform, and some other ancillary comments.
So before they move forward to possibly building this, that they would come in to review with you the plan of how they would, what surfaces they would use to move this vehicle on and off the property?
During the LDP, that would trigger the review of the driveway, yes, ma'am. And if they wanted to reconfigure and get a second driveway, they would have to come in for a permit for that,
Yeah.
regardless of LDP status.
Yeah, because
Correct.
it is now, if they use the same access point they've been using, that really needs to be a paved surface. It's to the, looking at the house from the front, it's to the left. I think they had a picture of it earlier.
I believe where there was a fence involved, I think that fence was,
No, we had a picture earlier where we could see the RV near the front of the property, but it was not on the drive itself. It looked like it was just on it's not exactly that one. But anyway, it was, I think, you had that. Do you have a picture of the aerial that shows where you park your?
You can have him sit down.
Yeah, you need to have, I was just going to ask him, can you just hand that to them?
Excuse me a minute. Mr. Peterson, do you have, Mr. Peterson has a I'm sorry, Mr. Peterson has a comment, and
And I'll try to answer a question, Commissioner Swanson, but do you see where the RV is on the left-hand side of the picture?
yes.
There's actually a double gate that leads directly out to Green Drive straight from there. So there's a
Okay.
gate there that they use to access the property.
But my question too is that allowed to be that close to the next driveway?
It'd be a spacing issue Cobb DOT would have to determine, but it looks pretty far based on how big these lots are.
Okay,
So this is where the RV sits, is this where but this isn't going to be where this garage is going to be placed?
No,
It's going to be to the back,
It's going to be in the very far left-hand corner.
correct? So then if they have this garage placed here, they can't drive on a non-hardened, they can't drive on a non-hardened surface to get out onto Green Drive. So
Yes.
they would have to create a driveway.
Well, they would have to create a hard and treated surface, and, it's possible to take the millings they're using and combine that with tar to make it a treated surface.
I know, millings is great, is a great surface when it's treated. So that would be a requirement, and that would meet your specifications? Would that,
Well, and they would still need a driveway permit for it.
and they would still have to get a driveway permit for that? Okay. That was, I was just trying to figure out how this was
yeah, I just,
gonna be flowing through. Okay.
okay, thank
I
you.
agree with you, thank you so much.
And
So you can
I was
call
gonna-
the applicant back up.
well, I want Andrew to talk about impervious.
Oh, Andrew?
Yeah.
Impervious.
Mr. Heath, can you come back up and you and Mr. Peterson discuss the impervious surface situation?
Yes, Andrew Heath, Cobb County Stormwater Management. And
Mr. Heath, and you need to speak up for me, so, okay?
okay, good deal, thank you. I took some photographs. I met with the Ruffins, the applicants, on site last Thursday, August 7th, and I took some photographs. I don't know exactly how well this will appear there on the screen, but I thought I would just walk through a few photographs because, as they used to say, a photo is worth 1,000 words. So if you walk back to the very rear back left of the Ruffins property, near their property corner, this tape measure that you see sticking up, kind of leaning wonky over there, that's roughly about where the property corner is. So I'm trying to stand kind of close to that property corner. And here I'm looking east, and that house that you can see in the far distant there on the left, that's one of the new homes in that adjacent Freestone Station subdivision. So we're looking kind of roughly along that eastern, along that northern or the rearmost property line of their property toward their east of the property. And you can see the white concrete slab there, and they have a black just utility trailer just temporarily parked on the slab. It's hard to tell exactly in the photograph, but it kind of looks like, maybe it's my best guess, that the concrete slab might be built at a little bit of a skew angle to that property line. And it looks like maybe that the corner of the concrete slab nearest us is a little bit further from that rear property line than the front corner, or I say the front, the farthest corner of the concrete slab is maybe a little bit closer to the property line. And so that distance there at that front corner of the property line, there where he was pointing just a moment ago, that's probably where I'm guessing is most likely the closest point to the property line. This is a little bit of an unusual situation because in the adjacent Freestone Station subdivision, the lots extend from that subdivision street back toward the Ruffins property, And then at the rear of those lots in that subdivision has a 10-foot, I forget exactly what they
Buffer.
call it on the plat. It's like a natural buffer, not a natural buffer, but it's a kind of a planted buffer area that's behind a black wooden fence that we'll be able to see a little bit more in a moment. So this green area there is sort of kind of in between their property line and where that black privacy, not really a privacy fence, just the black fence that's separating the lots from that natural kind of buffered area. So if you want to go to the next one. There we go. The top photograph there, if we just kind of walked over and stood roughly in the center of that concrete slab. Now again, we're still looking east, we're looking in the same direction. You can see some of the plantings there kind of in the left as that left where that greenery is to the left is in that natural buffer area, and the Ruffins home is to your right. If you look out there kind of beyond the concrete slab, you can see some of that they call reclaimed asphalt product. That's the millings that you get from, if you see a asphalted concrete road that's being resurfaced, they mill that top layer off. And so some of that product was used here. You can see it extending out there to the east a little bit. And then that photograph that's at the bottom is if we, standing in that same spot almost, just kind of turned to the right and looked out toward the road. It's maybe a little difficult to see, but you can see sort of the new reclaimed asphalt product driveway that's extending out toward Green Drive along the side of the Ruffins property there.
Okay.
There we go. So now if I walked, now I'm no longer on the Ruffins property. I've kind of walked kind of further off their property line toward that adjacent subdivision. And you can see that black fence is that kind of dark structure you see going sort of right down the center of the photograph. And off to the right is about a 10-foot width per the plat for the subdivision. That is that buffered area. And you can sort of barely see a little bit of the white concrete slab kind of protruding there. There you go, where he's pointing out there, where you can barely see it through that vegetation. The property past that fence to the left, it drops off quite abruptly. As you can see, there's a pretty significant slope down, and there's a drainage structure you can see down there at the bottom protecting.
So, Mr. Heath, you're not worried about flooding or anything like that, the way they've protected these two lots? With the berm there?
Yes, there's a little bit of a berm, and that fence is kind of sitting on
so
top of that
we're not worried
berm.
about it. But let's talk about the impervious surface based on the size of their lot, in case there's any mitigation needed in that case.
Right. And so what I was trying to show with some of those photographs is, of course, you have the impervious surface area for the building itself, and the 25 by 50 foot building that would yield about 1,250 square feet. The other areas where that reclaimed asphalt product is placed for the driveway and for that area that I showed extending out from the concrete slab, those are sort of curvilinear areas with not really clear geometric shapes. But if you kind of roughly apply some geometric shapes to those, I got about 2,835 square feet for the driveway and 1,650 square feet for that kind of apron that was extending out from the slab. And summing all that together yielded roughly 5,735 square feet of impervious area. And so from a stormwater management standpoint, sometimes, and even on some sites we talked about today, sometimes the sites are up against the impervious area maximum for the site. In this particular case, that's not the case. The Ruffins have a large lot, so they're not up against that maximum amount. However, for stormwater management, one of our thresholds that pushes you into a higher level of stormwater management criteria for the lot is when you exceed 5,000 square feet of new or redeveloped impervious area. So just kind of a rough estimate might indicate that they're probably kind of at or over that 5,000 square feet. So it would be easiest for the Ruffins if we sort of looked at probably the slab, the concrete slab sort of is what it is, but the reclaimed asphalt areas could probably be reshaped, maybe tightened up a little bit, shortened just a little bit, and we could probably squeeze that number down to below that 5,000 square foot threshold, and then that would be well in their favor because that would get them out of the more severe requirements for that.
Okay. All righty. Does anybody else have a question?
Can we get a topo up here of this property, of this area? Topographical map? Can we get something that shows the, okay, I see it now. All right, so but for the berm, things do generally flow downhill towards those lots immediately adjacent to the slab.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that berm is 100% on the property that's owned by the HOA that's developing those R15 lots, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
You mentioned previously that one thing they could do is to reconfigure the driveway approaching the barn, car barn or RV barn as it was. It looks like what they had planned to do was to come in and swing wide around to the right and then enter back to the left from the side. What if it was configured to face the road? To have the entrance facing the road, wouldn't that would by definition take out all that wide swing, correct?
It would. I guess in that case, they would not be able to turn it around. They would just have to go straight in and straight out. But I suppose that could be done.
Are there a lot of trees back there present, though, where they would be lost if they did something like that?
Where the reclaimed asphalt product is primarily open and the driveway, I don't think, this photograph I think was taken probably before that was constructed, I guess, because that area is a little bit more wooded. But the area where the driveway passes through from Green Drive to the back, there are some trees in that area. It's not, the driveway isn't 100% just a straight shot. As I recall, I think it's got a little bit of curvature to it, but not too much. It's relatively straight.
All right. Does anybody else have a question?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Heath. That was helpful. Should we hold this and give them time to check on the cost of different things they may need to do?
No, I think we can,
I'd be in favor of holding it for a number of reasons. Number one, that to me, they haven't shown a genuine hardship other than already having poured a slab without coming to us. But I think they should submit a new plan if they want this considered.
Yeah, and I think we also should consider is if you have a current plat, have someone come out there that can officially mark where this is, so we know that you've got. Yeah, come back up and show it to us. Yeah.
Yes. So one other thing was what the issue was with turning in and going straight ahead was that Green Drive is only a road for one vehicle, right? So it's
one
not.
lane? It's one lane?
It's one lane. It's one lane. It's not double lane where you can have a car that can pass each other. So every time you have to pass someone, you got to get over to in the grass to pass them, that person, right? So it's hard to back out, to get out, because there's trees on that side and it's not trimmed and stuff to be able to get that. That's why I wanted to be able to pull in, turn to your right and back into the garage and then pull back out to alleviate that one lane access to Green Drive. Another thing, the property that's to the right there, when we put the pool in initially, we had to extend the sewer lines right? So those lines runs all just about, I have a picture of those or where they run to. Let's see if I still got that. It's on this one here. Can you put that one on there? You can see where we have to extend the sewer lines out, the septic tank lines rather, out. You see where those lines had to run all the way out right there to it? And I didn't want to dig and compromise the septic tank to be able to put the structure there to the right where all the trees are also.
This is like, you've marked it for the footage right below where you have the slab?
No, this is on that side where all the trees are.
Oh,
right.
okay.
Like
For an alternate place for the RV,
Okay, so
right?
that's why we didn't put it on that side.
Okay.
Correct.
No, I just,
Outside of the
Not on-
250.
So do you have a current plan? You said you had,
We
what
have
is,
a,
can we, is that
Just for a
what,
plaque.
is that what you applied, is this what you were showing here?
yes, ma'am, this is the plaque here, and then this photo probably shows better about the driveway and where we were going to turn around only in our yard to be able to access and get back out to the
Right.
road. But you have to, go through our
'Cause
gate.
if you
That's
leave it
why
out-
we put in the double gate up there for the RV entrance and exit. But you see how the asphalt driveway is here, then the storage building would be here, and then we have the extra asphalt that, Mr. Heath was mentioning in the boundary. Maybe we just need to make it smaller, but it goes like to an apron here so that we can, pull up and back into the storage building.
So
Go
can
forward
you,
and then come
can you
back out.
explain? No, it's even worse. So you have this storage, this will be your RV storage, correct? And then you have this driveway that comes out, and you're gonna actually do like you can actually maneuver to turn the whole RV around to go out?
Yes, ma'am, and that's what we were doing even before we even had the slab poured right here. Is that
So
we had
we-
to come in through the gate right
Right.
here on the grass before we even put the driveway asphalt there.
Right.
And then we would turn the RV here and then back it in.
and
And then come out.
And then we would come out.
And
We
so
can
then
pull
the
forward
turn,
and
this
then
whole
go.
turn,
Yes, ma'am.
this whole turn that you're gonna turn around to come back,
Uh-huh.
that's all going to be the millings?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So this,
And
your
I think we
whole,
may have too much is what Mr. Heath was
this whole
saying.
back then is going to be a hardened surface, which
Yes, ma'am.
millings is that? And then you come back around?
yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And probably, and let me ask you this. Did you use a different access point until they decided to build houses behind you?
No, this was the same
This was
access
the
point.
same access
Okay, I just was
that we
curious.
used before they.
Before, yeah,
decided.
we've had the RV
Little over
almost
3
Yeah.
almost
3
4.
years now, right? It's just impossible to back out to Green Drive,
Right.
to get the RV out, to go
Narrow
out.
road right here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely a hardship, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. That's the hardship.
If they could widen the road, that would be great.
Right.
But it's been like that for 20-something years now, I think.
Okay, you
We
can,
just got there 6 years ago, so,
thank you.
yeah, thank you.
No, now that I know the whole story, and she didn't tell me when I talked to her.
So we've just seen diagrams that show this thing being in two completely different places. And what they're proposing is to put all kinds of hardened surface very near a boundary line where, but for a small berm, the downhill slope is all going towards a couple of new R15 homes that's planned. To begin with, I don't see any hardship at all as to any need to put this within 2 feet of the property line. They can still create a room to turn around somewhere in the 100 and whatever, or 200 feet between Green Drive and a storage facility. And I think we'd be making a tremendous mistake to approve this as currently proposed because of the amount of impervious they're proposing to put right near an area where, but for a small berm, the flow of the water is going to be going towards this new residential subdivision.
Alice,
I
I'm
don't
sure-
have it, I don't have,
Yeah.
there's this berm that was built up, and I don't think that
Yeah.
there's an impact there. As far as removing all of these trees, that's just very expensive. It's kind of an unusable spot, but I think that with this new subdivision is probably beneficial because people aren't looking into more and more homes, whereas now they're going to be. I think that so it's just kind of limiting, it's limiting their usable land, and I don't have much of a problem with where they want to put it and how they're going to drive it around.
What my thinking is since it is close to the property line and they do have another development behind it, I would think that if we hold it for a month, they go back and get a little cleaner thing. You price out what it's going to cost you to do what you need to do to get your hardened surface, and then you go and see the developer and say, this is what I'm doing, so you don't have an issue later. I think it would just be, the 30 days would give you a chance to just kind of finalize and clean up your design and things like that. That's my, so I would.
I have a question, Mr. Peterson. Is it, the developer is building these lots, they aren't occupied, we saw a few that aren't impacted by this, but,
Yeah.
but do they need to go to a developer and say, do you approve of this plan? This is a developer, it's not individual homeowners.
Well, we don't, unless you ask them.
I ask Mr. Peterson.
It's my understanding those lots directly behind where the RV barn is going to be placed are currently vacant, but I thought I heard the applicant say that he talked to the developer about this and they didn't have a problem with it.
Okay, well, you have to wait till you're called up, I'm
Wait till we
sorry.
call you. Yeah, we're doing some operational stuff. Just a sec, give us a second.
But I do know that they got the neighbor directly to the left, Mr. Brown, to sign off on the petition to approve it.
Yeah. Okay. Alice, anything?
I'm fine with all of you.
Okay.
I just,
Yeah, well,
I guess I just really don't have an issue with this, but if you wanted to hold it for 30 days, then if you could draw, if the applicant could draw exactly where this building's gonna sit, exactly how this road, the driveway is going to go down towards Green Drive, and exactly how this road, like draw it, how you're gonna go through this garage, come out, turn around, because I know that now that the hardship is what Green Drive, how it's a one-laner, so how that is going to look, how that's going to look on the property, but as well as give the opportunity for, which I don't think there's an impact on stormwater, but I
No.
do think that that you would also need to go through our DOT to make sure that this is the correct hardened surface and that type of thing. So the 30 days, since we're all sort of questioning where this really is being placed, it might behoove you to come and show, this is the picture pasted on the thing, this is how the driveway's gonna be, and then it'll be clear.
yeah, and you'll have your clean square footage, so that would be helpful. So I'm going to make a motion to hold this for 30 days.
I second it.
Place your votes. Okay. All right. We are, Alice said yes, and did our votes come?
We're good.
What is?
We're all vote.
There we go. Okay, we voted to hold it.
We're gonna
for 4
hold it,
days.
and then you can present that all next month.
And you can
to
work,
us. Right.
yeah, but we can talk, someone from staff can go through with you, and you can get back with them and see if there's clarification needed.
You're more than welcome to speak to the person from DOT
Yeah,
to
you've
get
got all the
some
folks
of
right
their
there.
ideas. He's right there, since he's, that's helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. We're done?
No.
Oh, I know, I'm saying with the cases.
We do have one more thing on your agenda, Madam
Yeah.
Chair and Board. That's to amend something previously adopted. Section 17.02 of the Board of Zoning Appeals Hearing Procedures, adopted January 11th, 1994, and last revised December 15th, 2021, allows the Board of Zoning Appeals to amend the text of an action taken at a previous hearing. This item would be to amend the motion by the Board of Zoning Appeals for V70 of 2025 as listed in the official minutes on the June 11th, 2025 meeting. The stipulation that needs to be amended in the motion to perfect the record is double underlined, and I'll highlight that when I read this. But this is for case V70, Beam Construction Company, Inc., who requested a variance to increase the maximum allowable impervious surface from 35% to 38% and to reduce the side setback from 25 feet to 21 feet in land lot 28 of the first district. The property is located at the northeast corner of Childers Road and Colbert Trail. Staff recommended approval, subject to stormwater management comments, to be done prior to certificate of occupancy. And the part we're going to add to the motion is, be done prior to certificate of occupancy.
Move to
Do I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Oh, Alice, I'm
I
sorry.
second.
We may place the vote. Okay. We have approved the passage of the motion, and Ms. Summerhour has voted yes. Okay, now we have housekeeping very quickly. Do I have a motion to,
I make a motion to approve the minutes as they stand.
Second.
all in favor? Alice is voting yes. Okay. All right, now do I have an adjournment motion?
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Please place your votes. Yes, and
Alice
Ms.
says
Summerhour
yes.
votes yes, so we are adjourned.